Imagine that sweet feeling of having a six-figure investment portfolio. It's a major investment milestone for many, but arguably one of the hardest to achieve. It's a tough challenge that's going to take disciplined contributions and time on your side to turn that goal into a reality. Billionaire investor Charlie Munger once said at a Berkshire Hathaway annual shareholder meeting back in the 1990s that the first £100,000 is a bitch, but you've got to do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on £100,000. And after that, you can ease off the gas a little bit. And with my own stock portfolio being worth roughly half that, excluding my pension and investment property too, I've still got some work to do in order to achieve that £100,000 stock portfolio milestone. So today we're going to explore why the first £100,000 is so hard, why getting to £1 million is easier, and how you can actually get to £100,000 as quickly as possible. There is a term in investing called compound interest, which is what accelerates the growth of your money. It's a function of time, value, and returns. But when you start out investing, the value of your investments is low, and the length of time you've invested for is short. And unless you're someone like Warren Buffett, your investment returns are probably going to average at about 10% per year. Due to this, the power of compounding doesn't really kick in during the early stages of your investment journey. As a result, most of the value of your investments, up to about £100,000, will be largely from the contributions that you've made. Let me explain. If you're able to invest £600 per month or £7,200 per year at an inflationary adjusted return on investment of 7% per year, it would take you just under 10 years to achieve an investment portfolio value of £105,056. Now of that 100 grand, your contributions would amount to roughly 72,600, and your returns would equate to £32,456. That means over the first 10 years of your investment journey, you would have contributed 69.1% of the total value of your portfolio. And that's to achieve that milestone portfolio size that Charlie Munger states is so very important. And look, even if I were to drop those returns to a more conservative 4% per year, you would still need to have contributed £79,800 in order to get that pot to 100,000. Now, why exactly is all of this so hard?
That's what she said.
Well, there are two very big reasons. First, you've simply got to save up £72,600 of your post-tax income, which is certainly no simple task in itself. It's going to require a huge amount of financial discipline and an element of personal financial success in your own life in order to be able to earn the income to be able to put that kind of money away. Secondly, investment returns aren't always consistent. The 7% figure that I've used as an example is just the historical average rates of return of the stock market. But stock market returns are rarely the same year on year. Some years the market is up and on other years the market's down. And depending on how lucky you are with market timing, it could take you far longer to get to that £100,000 if you started out investing during unfavorable market conditions. So remember those three functions of compound interest. To begin with, the aim of the game is to focus purely on building the value of your investment pot, because time and returns will come naturally. Now, once you get your hands on your first £100,000, you'll be glad to know the next 100,000 comes a lot quicker. And I think you'll kind of be surprised at just how quickly you'll be able to get to £1 million based on some of the tips that I'm going to share with you guys towards the end of the video. So let's discuss why building the portfolio after £100,000 becomes ever more easier. Making your money work for you is a concept that many successful investors talk about. It dates back to the ancient Babylonian times, where it was stated in the book The Richest Man in Babylon, "Learn to make your treasure work for you. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes." It's a concept that stood the test of time and is very much still relevant in today's world of investing success.
Great success.
Let me explain a little bit more by giving you the choice of two options. You can either have £1 million today, or you can have a penny today, but I'll double it every day for 30 days. Which one are you choosing? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below. Well, if you chose the £1,000,000, well, congratulations, you've become an overnight millionaire. But you might be slightly frustrated to know that if you chose the penny and were patient enough to last the 30 days of it doubling every day, well, you'd actually be sat on a far bigger sum of money of £5,368,709. But what you will have noticed is that it would have taken until day 28 to become financially better off. This is when exponential growth starts to take place. This is the difference between linear growth and exponential growth. And exponential growth is where the true power of compound interest is unlocked. It's why investing becomes easier if you're patient enough to allow time, value, and returns to do the work for you. Let's discuss this again in the context of investing £600 per month with a 7% rate of return. Whilst it takes just over 9 years to hit your first £100,000, to get to your next £100,000, it only takes an additional 5 years. And your next £100,000, only additional 3.5 years. And then £100,000 after that, it only takes 2.5. And just by looking at this example, you can see how quickly your money accelerates when the power of compounding is playing out in your favour. But what exactly is the goal here? Compound your money into billions of pounds like Warren Buffett, or do something a little bit more measurable? Well, many investors, myself included, are looking for their investment portfolios to reach something called critical mass. A critical mass is the point at which you no longer need to contribute to your investment portfolio, as it simply becomes self-sustaining. It's the point in the portfolio that you've done all of the hard work, and then you can simply rely on the functions of time and stock market returns to do the rest for you. It's the point at which you can pretty much sit back, relax, and retire off your investment portfolio. Now, of course, this critical mass is different for different people, but let me give you a few examples to work from. Here I've mapped a 50-year investment portfolio growing at 7% per year with monthly contributions of £600. And here you can see the number of different levels of income that you could draw depending on your investment time horizon. Now, the longer that investment time horizon is, the more potential income you'll be able to draw from your portfolio. But hopefully this gives you a little bit of context of how time, value, and returns within the market actually play out in practice. And perhaps don't think about it in the form of income. Instead, think about it in the context of how much money you actually need to spend every single year. Because your income naturally splits into two camps. Partially for saving and investing, and the other part for all of your lifestyle expenses. But when you've actually achieved financial independence, you no longer need to be saving or investing any more of your money. And actually all your portfolio would then need to cover is your expenses, which may be significantly less perhaps than the income that you need today. And all of this has been calculated using the rule of 4%. It's a common personal finance rule that states that you should be able to withdraw 4% of the value of your investment portfolio every single year without the portfolio actually declining in value. So whatever point in time you decide to stop contributing to your portfolio because you're happy with the income that you can draw from it, that's the point in time that the portfolio has hit critical mass and becomes self-sustaining.
Yeah, boy.
So let me know down in the comment section below what level of financial independence income that you're working towards. Now, it's all well and good looking at all of these big numbers, but in order to get there, first you need your first 100,000. So here's 3 tips in order to accelerate yourself towards achieving that 6-figure milestone. Tip number 1 is open a stocks and shares ISA account. It's a tax-free investment account where you can invest up to £20,000 per tax year. Number 2 is to adopt strict financial habits. As Charlie Munger says, if it means walking everywhere or not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, then do it.
I think the people that oppose my position are idiots.
Cut back on all of those needless expenses because nobody cares what car you drive, nobody cares what clothes you wear, and nobody cares whether you went to dinner at Nobu this weekend. So save that money instead and put it away in your investment account. Number 3 is aggressively increase your income. You must, especially in your early 20s and 30s, be doing everything that you possibly can to maximize your income. Whether that's acquiring high income skills, getting a promotion at work, job hopping in order to get a pay rise, or even perhaps starting a side hustle. The possibilities and the opportunities are endless if you go after them. And look, don't get me wrong, all of this probably requires you to get outside of your comfort zone and challenge the way that you do things right now in order to obtain a better result in the future. Or for some of you, it won't, and this video will simply just be a reminder that you're doing all of the right things right now to set yourself up for success. And for those of you who sit in that camp, well, I can just encourage you to keep going. Now, if you can do all which I've mentioned, I've got no doubt in my mind why you can't go on to achieve financial independence. All from just getting past that first £100,000 milestone. And you'll only have yourself to thank based on all of the good decisions that you made today. It's certainly my goal to achieve financial independence through investing into the stock market and from growing my own investment portfolio. And it's my ambition to take as many people on that journey as I possibly can through making videos on this YouTube channel. So if you are interested in checking out my own latest portfolio update, then be sure to click on this video next. But before you do so, be sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Drop a like on a video, guys, on your way out. And with that being said, I'll see you over in the next one.